A bird's-eye view of any school playground reveals the same general impressions. Children at play, eagerness for action, boundless energy. The extent to which play contributes to the maximum development of children depends on environmental factors of time, space, tools, guidance. What kind of play experiences are important for children? What opportunities do they need? The amount of vigorous activity needed by the normal child is estimated to be 2 to 4 hours daily. Many schools try to provide at least 1 hour of this time. In supervised play and daily instruction periods, teachers set the stage for growing and learning through physical activity. Space as well as time determines the effectiveness of play in contributing to maximum development of children. Ample space encourages vigorous activity, which is essential to the development of strong bodies. Tools of learning are important also. Climbing apparatus is invaluable for developing strength of upper extremities. Adult guidance is imperative for maximum development through play, as in all areas of the school program. Through resourcefulness and ingenuity, the teacher improvises equipment, solves problems of limited facilities. What better incentive to develop skill and confidence than provided by this interested teacher? The teacher sees that all children have a chance to participate. She helps them gain status and recognition in the group, learn to share and work together. She helps them satisfy their activity needs, activity which promotes health and vitality. On these typical playgrounds, we see how environmental differences influence the play habits of children. A visit to several primary classes in physical education will enable us to see how some teachers have utilized factors of time, space, and tools to make the best use of activity time. Physical education is one of many special areas in the modern school which contributes to the development of the child. Physical education activities not only must fit into crowded classroom schedules, but also into limited play facilities during unfavorable weather. A busy teacher is eager to make best use of activity time. That is, to encourage a high amount of purposeful activity. Using this as a yardstick, let's watch this group in action. What experiences does the teacher provide? What materials does she use? What methods enable her to encourage a high amount of purposeful activity? This third grade uses apparatus and small equipment regularly. Equipment is improvised or constructed locally to keep down costs. Pre-planning in the classroom enables the group to get into action quickly. Group goals are adopted. Standards of safe and courteous play agreed on. The child's drive to test his powers and to master performance determines his unique purpose. Complex motor skills emerge as there is opportunity to practice in an encouraging atmosphere. Freedom to explore apparatus, to initiate stunts as readiness emerges, enables each child to practice at his own level of development. As the child explores, he invents his own solutions to problems. Teaching a child to rely on himself and to try things within his own level of ability are two of the best measures of safety. Children are helped to respect individual differences. They are never pushed to come up to standards set by more skillful children. Planning safe use of space helps children grow in self-direction and consideration. Let's listen in as Miss Sutton calls children together for a discussion period. Techniques will be demonstrated. Principles of good movement discussed. Further practice will be more meaningful as learning is shared.
Who can show a light, soft landing from a jump off the boxes? Notice how Janet bends her knees and lands on the balls of her feet without a jar. Can someone show a strong grip on the trapeze? See how Margaret grips the trapeze with thumbs under to prevent slipping when hands are moist? Who can show how feet and knees help in climbing? Linda, will you show us a forward roll? See how she makes herself into a ball and pulls her head in, almost like a turtle. Who will help Susan do a headstand? David? See how she makes a tripod with her head and hands to help her balance. David makes sure she goes down easily, a good helper. Does someone have a new stunt he'd like to share?
With a variety of equipment to choose from, children have not wasted time waiting a turn. They were active about 75% of the time. In this contrasting scene, waiting in line absorbs about 75% of the activity time. Ball playing is so universal a game that skill in handling balls becomes an important factor in achieving group status. Each child needs a ball for best use of time. Large ones are easier to handle at this stage of development. In this first grade, children are stimulated to increase skill through problems in ball handling. Tossing and catching the ball 10 times is a real challenge for this youngster. Patting the ball leads to good control. The investment in balls seems negligible when one considers the opportunity provided for activity and skill development. Only one ball for 6 children is as wasteful of time as would be only one paintbrush or one book. In this formal drill of teacher and class, children are restricted in movement, spend most of the time waiting a turn. Group planning is essential for purposeful, self-directed activity. These children are planning to test their progress in ball handling skills. Practice is stimulated by game-like situations. Children keep their own scores, are interested in their progress. Wide differences in throwing ability are apparent. These may be due to differences in maturity and experience or faulty habits. Bob gets more force and better balance by stepping forward as he releases the ball. A good follow-through influences accuracy and speed of the throw. On wintry days, the opportunity to satisfy the activity needs of children becomes a real problem. Since the playroom was scheduled all morning, Miss Huffman had the children move the desks to the wall. She suggests movement problems that help children develop freedom and creativity in movement. They jump lightly. Move hands slowly and lightly. They move elbows in all directions, high, low, and in circles. Some of the children try walking a tightrope. They skip, using their arms to achieve lightness and height. Now the others have a turn. They try combinations of fundamental movements, hopping and jumping. Miss Howard and her 2nd grade come to share a rhythmic dramatization, Winter in the Forest. The hunters are tracking the bunnies and the bears. The birds help the animals by covering their tracks. When the hunters do find their prey and take aim, the wind blinds them. They give up in defeat, and peace returns to the forest. Active games are a favorite form of physical education for children. However, careful selection needs to be made from the wealth of games material available. Certain criteria must be applied in order to realize a high amount of purposeful activity. How many children are active at one time? Is the teacher or a child in the role of leader? Is thinking required? Do children have adult guidance? In games, children encounter many new disciplines. They learn to follow rules which are the same for all, to accept impartial decisions. Red light helps children take important steps in social adjustment. If children are seen moving by it after the signal red light, he sends them back to the starting line. In the first grade, the social organization receives the major emphasis in the early attempts at organized play. In a circle game such as Garden Scamp, Miss Huffman can help all the children understand and apply the rules. The limited activity is apparent, however. Only 2 children are active at one time. Some children do not get a turn to be it. The next time the first grade plays Garden Scamp, Miss Huffman helps them organize 2 games. Pre-planning in the classroom permits them to get into action immediately. On their own, children have an opportunity for self-direction as well as for more activity. The evaluation period, which follows the game, is an important part of the learning process. Growth and ability to follow rules, to be fair and considerate are discussed. Better strategy is planned. Running tag games like Hill Dill are favorites of children because they all can be on the move. Chasing, fleeing, dodging have great appeal, help children improve motor skills, and help increase endurance, too. This game is called free dodgeball. It is well named because it requires a minimum of organization while providing excellent opportunity for improving skill and strategy. It has a ball and wears a color band. He is free to run and throw at any of the dodgers. As each child is hit, he must get a ball and color band also. Then he returns to the game to help it. The last child to be hit wins the game. The traditional game of dodgeball is limiting in activity for this age group. Skills are inadequate. Players still too individualistic to permit rapid teamwork. Half of the children are standing, just waiting to get a chance to throw. Free dodgeball permits all the children to be active all the time. We have seen some suggestions for providing best use of activity time. Provide ample tools and equipment. Encourage creative movement through problem solving. Select games carefully in order to permit a high amount of purposeful activity.